Hi everybody, my name is Penny and today I'd like to show you how to make my top secret carrot cake. It's been a closely guarded secret for many years, but today I am going to give it you for free. It's the best carrot cake you'll ever taste and it's so easy. You don't need electric mixers or anything. You just need some bowls, a whisk or a wooden spoon and yourself. Here's your list of ingredients. I'll go through them as we use them anyway, but here's your list. Okay. You'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, gas mark 4, 180 degrees centigrade or 170 if you're using a fan oven. Centre of the oven, central shelf or slightly above or below. All ovens are different and I think if you bake at all you know which shelf is best for your cakes, and whatever shelf you normally put your cakes on, I would suggest you do the same with this one. You will need either a tray bake tin, cupcake cases and muffin tins, or rounds. This will make 2 9-inch rounds, 22 to 24 cupcakes, or it will do a 10 by 8 tray bake. I like a tray bake, it's easy to share, it's not too tall, it's just nice and you can just ice the top. Very easy, very easy. I prepare my tins. There is a little life hack to show you exactly how to do it. My tin is all prepared, it's greased and lined completely with baking parchment or greaseproof paper, whichever you've got. It's buttered, but you can use vegetable oil or you can use margarine, makes no difference really. It's just about not sticky. Okay, so here we go. You will need, in one big bowl, I sieve this in. I actually put the sieve over the bowl and add it into the sieve and then sieve everything together, so that's your dry ingredients. You'll need 260 grams of self-raising flour. You can use gluten-free flour. This is not gluten-free today, but you can use gluten-free flour. But a big tip is, if you're going to use gluten-free flour, you need to use xanthan gum as a binder. Otherwise, your cake goes a bit dry and crumbly and it doesn't stick together very well. So appropriate amounts of xanthan gum if you're using gluten-free. But for us, 260 grams of self-raising flour with 1 teaspoon of baking powder, that's a level teaspoon, and 1 level teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, or as the Americans call it, baking soda, 1 level teaspoon of salt, 1 level teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of ground mixed spice. It just gives it that little element of flavour that really enhances this cake. That's what's in here. And then, to make sure that that is all beautifully mixed, I use the balloon whisk and just give it a whisk round till it's all mixed in, all the spices, it's all even. Lovely. You will need some sugar. I've put all my sugars together, and with this you need 200 grams of granulated or caster sugar. Granulated works fine, but if you prefer to use caster. I've used caster, but it does work well with granulated. 200 grams of that, and then brown sugar. I like to use a mixture of both light brown and dark brown. I find it works best, but if you like a darker taste, then just use dark brown, soft brown sugar. And you will need 200 grams. I use 100 grams of light and 100 grams of dark. So all in all, you'll need 200 grams of brown sugars. And they go in here. This is your sugar bowl. And I give them a good stir around. Again, just using the whisk. Simple, very, very easy. Now to this, just poking the lumps out, there we go. To this I am going to add 295 ml of vegetable or sunflower oil. And in it goes. Simple, gone, done. 1 teaspoon, 5 ml of vanilla essence. Again, it's just a flavour enhancer, not any secret ingredient. I then give this a good stir with the balloon whisk till all the sugar is coated in the oil. Poke out any lumps. And there we are, done. You will need 4 large, I use free range eggs, I never use anything other than free range eggs, and they need to be beaten. Give them a good little beat. And in they go. Whee. I like to use a silicone spatula. It actually takes everything out, and you make sure you've got all your ingredients in there. Okay. Stir your eggs in. Off they go. Okay, easy peasy. Now, you will need 100 grams of chopped walnuts. I've chopped mine already. There's my chopped walnuts. So they're not too fine, can you see? They've still got little crunchy bits in. And you'll need 65 grams of sultanas. Obviously, if you've got people with nut allergies, you want to leave the nuts out, it's fine. It's very forgiving cake. If you haven't got, say you've only got 50 grams of sultanas, just stick it in, it won't matter. If you want to leave the nuts out, that's fine. But a tip, put your sultanas into your nuts and then give them a good shake round. It helps to coat the sultanas in, because there's always a bit of powder in the nut, and it stops them sinking, because sultanas do have a tendency in cakes to sink to the bottom. But there they go. And now you'll also need 300 grams of grated carrot, roughly grated. If they're manky, scrape them. If not, you know, just give them a good wash and just put them through the grater. It seems a lot, it's not. It makes this cake incredibly moist. I'm going to add the flour now. So I'm not going to use the balloon whisk for this. The whisk has done its job. But I am going to use a silicone spatula. I'm very fond of silicone spatulas and spoons because they are so wonderful. In goes the flour. Okay. And all I'm going to do with that is just fold that in. Don't have to be terribly fussy. You just fold it in till it's all blended, all mixed. There we go. It's coming. It smells divine, by the way. If we had smelly vision, I could show you, but you'll have to wait and make it yourself. There we go. Get all that flour in and give it a good beat together. And the secret of this cake is not to overbeat it. So it's a bit of a batter, isn't it? Next, in go your nuts and your sultana mix. Good stir. There we are. And then in with the carrots. Waste not, want not. Okay, we're going to stir this round. Oh, it just looks so lovely. I have a friend who I make this for. He says, I don't eat cake, but I'll eat your carrot cake because it's healthy and it's one of my 5 a day. I don't like to disillusion him. And there you are. You can see that that is a very simple, easy mix. It's just very soft, lovely. Okay, now we're going to put it in our tin. I'm going to make some into cupcakes. And a little tip for making cupcakes: get yourself an ice cream scoop, a smallish one, one that's got the, because it's a perfect measure for a cupcake mixture. Here's my cupcake tray. I'm only going to do half a dozen actually because I want to put the rest into the tray bake. So take your ice cream scoop, plop, in he goes. You get them all the same, or virtually. Go, one more. There we go. Very simple. Now if you're cooking the cupcakes, they take approximately 20 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes. Like I said, all ovens are different and all cooking times are approximate. Any recipe you use, the cooking times are approximate, and you should always adjust things to your own oven. My pre-prepared tray bake tin, here it is. I'm just going to tip this in. Here it goes. And the joy of using the silicone spatula, virtually nothing left in the bowl. Which I have to say, my husband regrets, although he doesn't lick the bowl with carrot cake so much, but when I make vanilla sponge, he used to love to lick the bowl. And of course now I've discovered silicone spatulas, he can't. There we are. In you go. Little tip, always tap it in case there's any big air bubbles. And here we are, into the oven. Now, for the tray bake, that will take about 40 minutes, up to an hour. To be honest, it really does depend on your oven. So I'm going to put this one in, and then I will show you the finished result after it's done. The little cupcakes, 18 to 20 minutes. For the 9-inch rounds, between 30 and 35 minutes. It does vary. You'll have to just keep an eye on it. With the tray bake, because it's baking for a bit longer, after 30 minutes I check it, and if it looks like it's going a little bit too dark on the top, I use a double folded sheet of baking paper, lightly greased, and I just lay that over the top for the rest of the cooking time, and it stops that top crisping up too much and getting too burnt. Sometimes it doesn't need it. I don't know what makes the difference, but sometimes it's fine, sometimes it isn't. But just to, in case, check it after 30 minutes, and if it does look like it's browning too much, just pop double folded sheet of baking paper over it, and you'll find that that will stop it. Okay, as you can see, I did put a top on, and here he is. I'm just going to loosen the sides in the corners particularly, just to make sure there's nothing sticking. And as you can see, using this, it means you can lift it out quite easily. Okay, I'm going to put him on the rack. There we go, out he goes. I've cooled him in the tin for about 5 minutes, and now I'm just going to peel that off. And then for me, I like to put him the right way round on a raised cooling rack, where he cools quite quickly. There you go. Again, I wish you could smell it, because it does smell rather lovely. And the cupcakes are out as well. Here they are. And out they're coming. I'm going to cool those. I'll make you a little follow-on video to show you the icing that I put on these, and I make a traditional cream cheese icing, which is really lovely, simple to make, but I do advise that you use an electric mixer. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Enjoy your carrot cake. Bye.